Now we are going to discuss about the atomic spectra and its models. Now, in 19th century, it was clear to the scientists that the chemical elements consist of atoms. Although no one has so far seen individual atoms, yet there is no doubt for its existence. Electron, one of the fundamental constituent particles, was first of all invented by J.J. Thomson. Electrons are negatively charged particles, but the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Hence, it became clear that atom must also contain positively charged material to balance the negative charge of the electrons. This was confirmed by the discovery of positive rays, which indicated that a normal atom consisted of both negative and positive charges. Thomson also measured the ratio of charge to mass E by m for an electron, whereas the charge E on the electron was measured by Millikan by his famous oil drop experiment. Thus, the mass of the electron was found by dividing charge E by the ratio E by m. Since the normal atom is electrically neutral, the quantity of positive charge per atom was thus known. Thomson also showed that the mass of the electron is of the order of 1 by 2000 of the mass of the hydrogen atom, which indicated that the entire mass of the atom is associated with its positive charge. It was not known at that time how the positive and negative charges are distributed in an atom. To account for the experimentally observed spectroscopic data at that time, several theories have been proposed from time to time regarding the atomic structure, which are known as atomic models. The various models are as follows: Thomson's plum pudding model, Rutherford's nuclear model, Bohr's model, Sommerfeld's relativistic model, vector model, and wave mechanical model. Now, inadequacy of classical physics. The reasons of a failure of classical physics are: first point, classical mechanics successfully explain the motion of the objects which are either observable directly or can be made observable by instruments like microscope. When the classical concepts were applied to the particles of atomic dimensions like electrons, they failed to describe the actual behavior. Thus, the classical concepts cannot be applied to atomic phenomenon. Example, motion of an electron in an atom. Second point, we know that an atom consists of a heavy positive nucleus with light negative electrons which revolve round the nucleus in circular orbits. According to classical picture, the negatively charged electron experiences selective attractive electrostatic force due to positively charged nucleus. Thus, they should come closer to each other. Secondly, if we consider the case of electron moving round the nucleus, it will experience a centripetal acceleration. It is a well-known fact that an accelerated charged particle radiates energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. Therefore, the energy of the electron should decrease continuously and it should come closer and closer until it collapses with nucleus. This shows the instability of the atom. This statement is contradictory to the observed fact of the stability of atom. Thus, classical mechanics fail to explain the stability of an atom. Third point is classical mechanics fail to explain the spectrum of hydrogen atom. Experimentally, it is observed that the spectrum of hydrogen atom consists of a discrete set of lines represented by nu equals to r into 1 by n2 square minus 1 by n1 square, where nu is the wave number, r is Rydberg constant, n1 and n2 are integers. This shows that the excited atoms of hydrogen emit electromagnetic radiations of certain definite wavelengths, while classical theory admits radiations of all wavelengths continuously. Thus, classical theory failed to explain the spectrum of hydrogen atom. Fourth point, it could not explain observed spectrum of black body. Fifth point, it could not explain the observed variation of a specific heat of metals and gases. Sixth point, the classical mechanics failed to explain photoelectric effect and Compton effect. Next is Bohr's atomic model. Bohr developed his theory of atomic structure by retaining the two essential features of Rutherford's planetary model. That is, the atom consists of a central positively charged hard core cancelled the nucleus, and second point, the electrons revolving round the nucleus in circular orbits. The outward centrifugal force is balanced by the net electrostatic attraction towards the nucleus. Third point, he assumed that the electron in the field of nucleus is not capable of moving along each of the paths that were possible on the basis of classical theory, but the electron can move along one of the discrete set of allowed paths. Only these orbits are possible for which the orbital angular momentum of the electron is equal to an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. As the momentum of revolving electron is mv and its moment about the nucleus is mvr, hence mvr equals to n into h by 2 pi, where n is 1, 2, 3 so on for first, second and third orbit respectively. H is Planck's constant. Such orbits are known as stationary orbits. Fourth point, no energy is radiated by the electron as long as it remains in its definite or stationary orbit. Thus, the permitted orbits are non-radiating paths of the electron. Fifth point, the radiation of energy takes place only when an electron jumps from one permitted orbit of higher energy to another permitted orbit of lower energy. The difference of energies is radiates and must be quantum of energy h nu, that is E2 minus E1 equals to h nu. Next is Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. He made a following assumptions on his theory. First one is, an electron in an atom moves in a circular orbit about the nucleus under the influence of Coulomb's force of attraction between the electron and nucleus. As the atom as a whole is stable, the Coulombian force of attraction is balanced by Newtonian centrifugal force, that is E square by 4 pi epsilon naught r square equals to mv square by r. Second one, only those orbits are possible for which the orbital angular momentum of the electron is equal to an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, that is mvr equals to n into h by 2 pi, where h is Planck's constant. Third point, the electron moving in such allowed orbits does not radiate electromagnetic radiation. Thus, the total energy of the electron revolving in any one of the so many stationary orbits remains constant. Fourth point, electromagnetic radiations are permitted if an electron jumps from stationary orbit of energy E2 to another stationary orbit lower energy E1. The frequency nu of the emitted radiation is related by the equation E2 minus E1 equals to h nu. Quantities associated with Bohr's orbit. First one is radii of orbits. Now we know that nu equals to nh by 2 pi mvr. Substituting the value of nu, we get E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square equals to m by r into nh by 2 pi mr whole square. From this we get r equals to n square h square epsilon naught by pi m e square. This above equation shows that the radii of the permitted orbits vary as the square of n, square of the n, which is called as principal quantum number. For the smallest orbit n equals to 1, substituting the values, we get h epsilon naught m and e. We have a radius of first orbit r1 equals to 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. This calculation shows that atom is about 10 power minus 10 meter in diameter. Next one is velocity of revolving electrons. To obtain the velocity of revolving electron, we substitute the value of r. We know that mv of n square h square epsilon naught by pi me square equals to n into h by 2 pi. From this we get nu equals to e square by 2nh epsilon naught. This expression shows the velocity of electron is inversely proportional to n. That is, the electron is the innermost orbit has the highest velocity. Next is orbital frequency of electron. It is the orbital frequency of electron is given by nu equals to 1 by t. That is, nu equals to m e power 4 by 4 epsilon naught square n cube h cube. This expression will gives the orbital frequency of an electron is inversely proportional to the cube of n. From this we get t equals to 4 epsilon naught square n cube h cube by m e power 4. Next is electron energy. The electron energy consists of two types. First one is kinetic energy and second one is potential energy. Kinetic energy. It is due to the motion of the electron and its value is half mv square, where v is the velocity of electron. Therefore, ke equals to half m into e square by 2nh epsilon naught whole square. From this we get ke equals to m e power 4 by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. Next is potential energy, and this energy is due to the fact that the electron lies in the electric field of positive nucleus. We know that potential at a distance r from the nucleus is v equals to e by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Thus the potential energy of the electron of charge minus e is PV equals to minus m e power 4 by 4 n square h square epsilon naught square. Therefore, En equals to minus m e power 4 by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. From the above calculations, we observe that an electron revolving in hydrogen orbit has a negative potential energy by virtue of its attraction towards the nucleus and positive kinetic energy by virtue of its motion. The net energy is negative because the potential energy in magnitude is greater than the kinetic energy. The negative energy signifies that the electron cannot escape from the atom. A positive energy for a nucleus electron combination means that the electron is not bound to the nucleus. Such a combination cannot constitute an atom. Next is frequency of the emitted radiations. The frequency of the emitted radiations can be found from the following relation. H nu equals to En2 minus En1. That is, H nu equals to m e power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h cube into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. If the c is the velocity of the light and lambda is its wavelength, then nu equals to c by lambda. From this, c by lambda equals to m e power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h cube into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This implies 1 by lambda equals to r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where r is a Rydberg constant and its value is 10.97 into 10 to the power of 6 per meter. That can be given by m e power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h cube by c into c. The wave number nu, which is a reciprocal of wavelength, is given by nu equals to 1 by lambda, that is r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. The general expression for the wave number of radiation emitted by the electron when it jumps from higher orbit n2 to lower orbit n1.